Hello and welcome to the podcast for the EVSC July 11th, 2022 board meeting. Coming to you one day later than normal because Jason, unfortunately, our co host, has been delayed because of his travel plans. So let's dig right into the board agenda. For good news, we were pleased to announce that this coming July the 14th and running through July 17th will be SpongeBob Musical, and that will be at Old National Events Plaza. So please get your tickets and see our community students come together for an incredible summer musical. It is certainly a family friendly show. Moving on, then, looking at consent item 3.02, consideration of allowance of payments that totaled $9,012,380.94 for this 2 week period of time, which is a very low amount, frankly, for a 2 week period of time. Item 3.03, consideration to approve the petition to the Indiana Department of Education for the School Technology Advancement Account. So, this is a fund that the EVSC has utilized for a number of years to provide the most up to date technology for our students and staff. And typically, those amounts go up to $500,000 at a very, very low interest rate of typically 1%. Item 3.04, consideration to approve the new renewal beverage contract with Pepsico. So we've had a long-standing arrangement with PepsiCo, actually beginning in 2012 with a renewal in 2017 and now a renewal in 2022. And the details of that package are contained on the board docs. Item 3.05, consideration to approve the renewal agreement with Panorama Education. So this is a platform that is utilized by the Indiana Department of Education for Climate and Culture Studies, as well as many, many school districts throughout the state and actually throughout the nation. Several of our school improvement plans require us to have climate and culture data. So we utilize this tool for that information. It is given to students in various grade levels up to 3 times a year. Parents will receive a notification via a phone call about information about Panorama. Also, information about how to opt out should they choose to. We're certainly um, very forthcoming in providing the questions to our families ahead of time, but we do appreciate the data that we do receive from the Panorama survey. Item 3.05, consideration approved change order number 1 with Art Construction for the Wrights High School exterior project of 2022. So there were 3 changes in this one change order. So change order 1 was really making sure that the light poles fed from conduit behind the step between the link and the bowl. Change order number 2 was for a decorative groove in the drive it on the link side of the building. And then finally, change order number 3 was to make certain that we could add a footing to the steps from the link to the bowl that are being reworked. Moving on then to item 3.07, consideration to approve the renewal agreement with Sproutery. Those of you that are longtime listeners to our board recap podcast may remember when we approved another vendor for this type of service. So since 2018, EVSC has utilized Sproutery as the online software to manage both the daycare and early learning programs for attendance and payments and things of that sort. Sproutery was going out of business at the end of 2022, and we moved to another vendor. And actually, this is one of those situations where I think the sales folks of the next vendor overpromised, and when it came time to actually implement that program, the folks that were here to implement said the program really cannot do what the sales folks had said. So we do have out clauses in our contracts for things like that. We exercise that out clause, and we're pleased to be able to work with the owner of Sproutery basically to utilize Sproutery until we transition to Power School. Item 4.01, personnel recommendations. Those are there for your perusal. I would like to lift that we are pleased to announce Mark Jones is going to be the new assistant principal dean at North High School. Moving on to item 5.01, consideration to approve the purchase of new fitness equipment. So we are very excited about this. Approximately $349,000 worth of new fitness equipment that will go into our wellness and performance centers at each of our 5 traditional high schools. It will complete our array of fitness and cardio equipment in each of our high schools. So our students in each of our high schools will have access to that equipment, as well as our staff throughout the district will have access to that fitness and cardio equipment. So we were very, very excited about that. As we know, numerous studies link mental health and one's well being to the opportunity to engage in physical exercise. And we are pleased that all of this equipment will be paid for through ESSER funding. Moving on then to item 6.01, consideration to review policy 3220.01, which is the teacher appreciation grants. Statute actually contained in the House Enrolled Act 10,001 requires an annual review and approval regarding the distribution of teacher improvement grant, or what is also called the TAG grant. So this has been presented now since 2019 with no changes. So we will ask for the board's approval of that in our next meeting. And then finally, to wrap up in continued business, I did once again reiterate the importance of our summer musical, uh, SpongeBob, the musical, that opens July the 14th at the Old National Events Plaza and closes then July 17th. It is a very family friendly, engaging musical that I know everyone will find immense enjoyment, and hats off to all of those individuals that have worked so hard to bring this production to life. That's all we have for the board recap of the July 11th, 2022 board meeting. Thanks so much for listening. Take care and God bless.